And welcome back to BYU Men's Basketball Media Day. I'm Jarom Jordan alongside Josh Sharp. This is interview number 2. Throughout the day, we'll be chatting with members of the BYU Men's Basketball team. If you have a question for Josh or anyone else on the team, post those to facebook.com/BYUtv Sports. So Josh, you're number 12. How'd you pick number 12?
It was actually pretty random. The coaches just gave me a few options, and that's what I decided. I was 32 in high school, but I think that number's a little taboo right now.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I thought 12 would be a good decision.
Used by Jimmer Fredette, and well played, I think, on your part, not to come in with the same jersey number there. You redshirted at Utah, you go on your mission, and then to Houston, and then you transfer to BYU. What was your experience like at Utah as a redshirt?
I really enjoyed it. It was fun being a part of that team. I mean, I'm excited now to be actually getting into the games and playing here. So,
why did you decide to transfer to BYU?
There was a lot of things that kind of opened it up. I enjoyed my experience there, but I guess like a lot of spiritual benefits here, and I don't know, it just kind of feels like a right fit for me to come down here.
Nate Austin is back from a mission, and we'll chat with him later today as well. A Lone Peak guy. Tyler Haas is on his mission in the Philippines. He's going to come back. So you're going to play with Nate this year. Then next year you have 3 Lone Peak nights on the team. What's that going to be like for you?
That'll actually be a lot of fun. That whole high school team was really close, and so, you know, bringing that here to college as well is going to be a lot of fun, you know, playing with both those guys. Got a good connection with each other.
And in high school you had 2 other guys that played Division I. Bracken Funk goes to Fresno State, plays for Steve Cleveland a little bit. Is he at BYU Hawaii now?
Yeah, he transferred to BYU Hawaii.
And then is it Josh Hamilton?
Justin Hamilton.
Justin Hamilton
yeah,
went to Iowa.
LSU now.
Yeah, Iowa State and then LSU or something. So you had 5 Division I guys on one time on a high school team. What was that? You mentioned that high school experience a little bit, but what was that like having that much talent on one team, coached by Quincy Lewis?
It was a lot of fun. It was cool because we had so many talented guys, but we were able to all share the ball, you know. And like I said, we bonded well together, and you know, I'm looking forward. We're playing, you know, Bracken this year, and so I'm looking forward to seeing more of those guys too.
Yeah, he came and played last year in the opener in Fresno State. Now he'll play for BYU Hawaii. If you have a question for Josh Sharp, post it on facebook.com/BYUtv Sports. The Greece trip, you transferred just in the nick of time because you got to go on that Greece trip.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was really exciting. It was cool, especially for me. I didn't know as many of the players and coaches and stuff, so it was good to get to know them and, you know, practice, get to know the system and all of that. So, and then just overall, Greece was awesome. So.
What did you learn about your BYU teammates that maybe you didn't know before since you hadn't been on this team?
They're just all really good guys. I'm excited for this year to be able to be with them, and I don't know. I didn't know hardly anything about any of them, so it's good now.
Who did you know before you transferred?
You know, I'd played against, you know, Chris Collinsworth and Brandon Davies.
Some epic battles there against Pro.
Yeah, and then, you know, I knew Charles and Nick from, you know, AAU stuff, and then just their high school stuff, a lot of the local guys.
Of course, failed to mention one of the most famous Lone Peak Knights, Jackson Emery. We got a Facebook post just about that from Ralph Olmo in Virginia. He says, who do you think can succeed Jackson Emery as the leader of the defense?
That's a good question. I mean, Jackson was obviously amazing at getting those steals and stuff, but it takes the whole team effort to have a good defense, and so, you know, we're all working on that together.
Several players, I guess, BYU probably the most married players in the country for a team.
Probably, yeah.
Got a question here from Kyle Chilton in Utah. He says, what's the time frame for marriage for a BYU basketball player?
Well, that's whenever they're ready for it, whenever the opportunity arises, I guess. But for me, I don't.
You take it one date at a time?
Yeah, there you go. We'll see what happens.
So your role on this team will be interesting because in high school it seemed like you were a small forward, power forward combo. On this team, they played you at the 4 a lot. How comfortable are you in that role? And, you know, how much, I guess, weight would be necessary to gain to maybe be able to hold your own in the post there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, since getting back, we've been hitting the weights hard, trying to get my strength up. I did play, I was a bigger man in my junior and sophomore year in high school, and so I'm used to a lot of things there, but it's, I'm enjoying it so far. I feel I'm pretty versatile, so I can play, wherever coach, wants me to play at.
Describe your skill set and what you do well on the court.
I think I can bring a lot on defense and rebounding the ball, and I'll hit down open shots when I'm given the chance.
Playing with this set of guys as you move into the post, Jim or Jackson era, which for the beginning of the season, maybe the whole season, it's going to be sort of described in that frame. What's it going to be like to have to maybe not meet expectations, but pave a new chapter in BYU basketball as you go into the West Coast Conference with a new group of guys?
Oh, being on my mission, I missed kind of a lot of the hype and stuff there, but I'm excited for it. At Lone Peak, I was following Jackson too, and it was cool to kind of have our own story and our own successes there, and so I think that's what we're expecting now, is to go into the West Coast Conference and make our own story, be able to be successful there.
You mentioned the spiritual benefits of coming to BYU, being part of it. How much of what Dave Rose has built here was influential in getting you to come here?
Oh, quite a bit. I've known this as a really good program, and there's, I don't know, that he expects a lot of us on and off the court. So that's something that I really looked for, when choosing school and choosing where to come play.
And we talked about it with Stephen Rogers a little bit. The 4 has to inbound the ball. So you have to play D, you have to get a little extra hustle, I guess. How tough is that on defense when you're playing D and then realize, oh yeah, I got to go get the ball and inbound it?
It isn't too bad once you get into the habit, and you're going to be in there. I'm going to be in there rebounding anyways, and so it got a little, just over the summer taking used to doing that, but it's not too bad.
Doesn't sound like a big deal, but yeah, you got it down. Okay, another question. This one from Chad Doran in Illinois. He says, with the guards being so young and guard play so important in college basketball, is that a concern for the team right now? You lose 2 seniors, you put in a couple of young guys.
Yeah, definitely. We're replacing 2 really, really good players, but I have a lot of confidence in Matt and Nick and Craig and those guys. They're awesome, and those, when we played over in Greece, they did great. So, and even Brock is playing a little bit of the guard right now, and so I'm just excited for them. I think they're going to do great.
And we'll chat with Brock Zylstra here in a moment. We're chatting with Josh Sharp. If you have a question for him, post it on Facebook.com/BYUtv Sports. If you weren't playing basketball at BYU, what other sport would you pursue?
I don't know. Basketball's always kind of been my sport. I don't even know. Maybe like tennis or something.
Tennis?
I don't
Singles
really
or doubles?
Singles, for sure.
Okay. Awesome. Bill Hoops in Utah says, Josh, being able to play so close to home, how big will your fan section be for each home game?
I don't know about that. Hopefully I'll have some support, but I'm glad to be here where I do have fans, hopefully. So I don't know. I'm not expecting an entire section or something like that.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Ralph Olmel in Virginia says, how good do the freshmen DeMarcus Harrison and Matt Carlino look? Also, who looks good at point guard to start the season?
I don't really know who coach is planning on starting and stuff like that right now, but DeMarcus and Matt are both looking really good. They're both tremendous shooters, can get their own shot off, and they're both solid on defense as well. So, I'm excited to see both of them during the season.
Once again, we're chatting with Josh Sharp here on BYUtv.org. If you have a question for him, post it on Facebook.com/BYUtv Sports. I can imagine the different challenges coming back from a mission physically. What's the toughest thing? Is it besides conditioning? Is it getting that shot back, being able to box out?
Well, I think it definitely is the conditioning. Those first few weeks back are not fun at all. Just the other guys being in shape, and then I don't know. It's hard getting the legs back. And then now I'm just working a lot on the skills and getting the shots, and just a lot of the little things, your footwork and stuff in the post now and stuff.
What's Mark Pope added to this coaching staff, since he's a new addition? I guess you're new and your first time as well.
Yeah, I mean he's all I've known, but he's awesome. I mean he brings so much experience from both college and the pros, and working with the big guys and stuff. You can tell he knows a lot, and he's able to help us out a lot.
Okay. Well, good stuff, Josh. Appreciate it. Hope you have a huge fan section as Lone Peak fans, and thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back in a moment with Brock Zylstra. More from BYU men's basketball media day on BYUtv.org in a moment.